The things that work for you or the things that made you a success are the things that you need to continue to do to remain a success.
Samuel L. Jackson is, without a doubt, the hardest working actor in Hollywood. He holds the crown of highest grossing actor of all time, and his film resume includes an impressive list of over 100 titles. Sam stars in an average of about 5 movies per year, many of which are blockbuster hits, some of which, however, are not.
I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane!
Regardless, in this video we're going to look at the 5 principles of Sam's incredible work ethic that have allowed him to maintain his blistering working pace for the past 20 years, and how you can apply them to your life as well. The first principle that undergirds Sam's work ethic is his ability to show up no matter what. You may be surprised to learn that Sam used to suffer from a serious drug addiction. In his own words, his drug of choice was whatever was available. However, even more surprising is that despite this serious impediment, he never missed a rehearsal, even if that meant rehearsing while he was high.
Fortunately for me, all the getting high, the drinking, the drugs, and everything else I did, I showed up at the theater every day. Right. I did plays ripped out of my mind. I rehearsed ripped out of my mind, but every lesson that I learned, I held on to for some reason.
If there's something you want to accomplish in your life, remember that the first step is to simply show up, because you have to first sit at the dinner table before you can eat.
Like one time, Sam, I don't know if you remember, I would run into him in LA, and he would drive by and his car would stop, and then he'd roll down the window and I'd say, Sam, how are you? When are we making that sequel?
The next principle of Sam's work ethic is his ability to adapt and change. Sam knew that when facing a problem as serious as drug addiction, showing up will only work for so long. In order to reach the next level of success, Sam had to take stock of his life, kick his drug addiction, and then implement better habits.
Once I got clean, everything kind of changed. So there's a very distinct correlation of me changing my life and being focused and clear about what I needed to do and my success. So when people say, well, you know, you go to rehab and you do this, you do that, I was a week out of rehab when I started doing Jungle Fever. So I didn't really need makeup.
Keep in mind that Jungle Fever was Sam's breakout role in 1991, and it was the film that essentially started his career as we know it. Now, I also want to mention that there's a very important, but not often talked about psychological principle that's going on here, and this is known as the self-serving bias. This bias states that we give ourselves credit for our successes, but blame our failures on external circumstances. Now, it would have been incredibly easy for Sam to blame his addiction and his failures on someone or something else other than himself. But, lucky for us, he had the self-awareness to address his addiction and then fix it. So, remember that this self-awareness is the key ingredient to being able to adapt and change.
They don't call it a quarter pounder with cheese?
Oh man, they got the metric system. They wouldn't know what the quarter pounder is.
And what do they call it?
They call it the Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
The third principle that has allowed Sam to work so hard for so many years is that he was a part of a supportive community that shared his values and his goals. It's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you can do everything yourself and that you don't need the support of others. But in Sam's case, his community is actually what kept him focused.
I loved the theater and I loved acting, and being here in a rich community of creative people is invigorating. We went to each other's shows, we watched each other work, we went to auditions together, we talked, there was no enmity, everybody was, great together. And when you're in a rich environment of creative people that share the same goals, everybody was trying to get somewhere, or everybody had a different idea about how it was going to happen. And there was enough going on, or enough people moving. It's like we're doing a play and all of a sudden Denzel is like, he plucked out, he's gone. She's like, okay, so Denzel got their TV show, now he's doing movies. Okay, boom, then we're doing another play, Morgan gets plucked out, boom, he's gone. He's doing Street Smart and he starts doing all this other stuff. Alfred's gone, Wesley's gone, Fish is gone. So you're in the right place.
Right.
It's just a matter of when your time is coming and not being envious or jealous about it.
A key point that's easy to miss is that there was no enmity or jealousy between Sam and his community. So if you find that there is a large amount of animosity or drama within your own community, then you may want to consider finding a new one. Because it's very easy for these types of communities to quickly turn into self-sabotaging entities that actually hurt more than they help.
The idea was to bring together a group of remarkable people see if they could become something more. See if they could work together when we needed them to fight the battles that we never could.
The fourth key to Sam's work ethic is that he loves acting. He started acting in college and didn't have his first breakout role until he was 43 years old. Now, it's hard to imagine that Sam would have kept at acting for so long if he didn't love doing it, or if he was only in it for the money.
I enjoy what I do. I make choices that will be enjoyable for me. So that when I show up to work, I show up enthusiastically and ready to do it, and hopefully doing something that's going to be a product that I'll be proud to sit in the theater with all the people and watch, because I do.
Remember that if you're working at something for months or even years at a time, then avoiding burnout is very important. And loving what you do seems to be the most effective way to avoid this burnout.
You know me. It's my duty to please that booty.
The fifth principle of Sam's work ethic is an extension of loving what you do, and that is enjoying the end product. Sam loves watching his movies, and he loves seeing himself on screen.
Do you watch your movies?
Yes, I do.
You like seeing yourself on screen?
I do. I used to, when I was doing theater in New York, I always wanted to see the play I was in with me in it.
Hard to do.
Yeah, it is. Very difficult. So this was perfect for me. I get to watch my performances. I always think that, I can't stand to watch myself. It's like some bullshit. It's like, really? It's a watch me business. And if you can't watch it, why should people pay $13.50 to watch you do it?
By associating the completion of your task with positive emotions and self-reflection, you're more likely to complete similar tasks in the future. For example, if Sam became extremely angry after every movie he was in, then he likely wouldn't have made more than a dozen movies or so. So remember, take the time to appreciate what you've done, and you'll actually be able to work much harder in the end.
Yeah. Hey, you shut your face. If we want to hear you talk, I will shove my arm up your ass and work your mouth like a puppet. You hear me? You hear me? Cash bar. Yeah.
Peace out, bitches.
Have you ever wanted to do something so badly but felt like you just didn't have the right tool to help you get it done? Well, this video is all about helping you find the right tool to make you productive. Personally, I prefer spreadsheets and then habit trackers and then journals. I know if you're choosing between these tools for the very first time, it can be a bit confusing. So in this video, we're going to look at the pros and cons of each of these tools in